If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss the next one.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's only been about, I don't know, 12 hours or so since I made the last video. But this is kind of like a sequel to the last video where I had some interesting comments about grain reticulation. So this time I thought I would try a different experiment using the same roll of film, because I've still got the rest of that film that I shot yesterday. So I had quite a few comments mentioning about you get grain reticulation when there's a sudden rise or a sudden drop in temperature, and I'll just post those comments up now for you to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to experiment with 2 more tries at this, and as I said, I'm going to use the rest of this film, and I've got a nice little scene here which is a flower and a window light with a bit of whiteboard behind it. And what I'm going to do is develop this film normally in Xtol as I did in the previous video, but this time once I take it out of the development, I'm going to put it in a very cold stop, and on the other side of the experiment I'm going to put it through the development, the stop bath, the fix, and then put it through a very cold wash, just to see the difference between the two and see if I can generate this grain reticulation that everybody's on about. So let's crack on with this experiment, the sequel to the last video, and see what we can come up with. Okay, so the roll of film is inside the camera now. Can't remember how many shots I've got left, but hopefully enough to load 2 tanks. I'm all metered up. F5, 100, speed, 125. Let's go, take the rest of these shots. More than I thought. Oh, there you go. Done. Rewind the film back. And get developing. Okay, so I'm back now. The films are in the tank, so this is the first one we're going to work with using a cold stop, and this is the second one I'm going to work with using a cold wash. So here's my fixer, here's my cold stop, and these are the 2 developers of Xtol, one for each tank. So let's look at these temperatures a sec. So my fixer, so you can see my fixer is 21.9, and we know from yesterday that that's not going to affect nothing. A quick wash on the stop bath now, and the stop bath is pretty cold at 8.4, and it's still dropping very slightly, so we've got about 8 degrees on the stop. So let's crack on and develop, stop, and then fix and wash for the first film. Okay, put these 2 to one side for now. There's my timer, so we've got 10 minutes in the Xtol. Pour it in. And start the timer. Okay, so I've got 10 minutes of this to do. I'm going to stop it now, the video, and then continue it when we start the stop. And while I'm developing, this is the water for the next roll of film. This is going to be my wash water. I can see I've put a massive block of ice in there. Hopefully I'm going to bring that down to a similar sort of temperature as the stop bath. We'll see. Leave that in there and see how cold that gets. Might have to put it in the freezer, I don't know. Okay, so development time is up. Now let's put the cold stop bath in, which is around about 5 degrees. And give it a good agitation for a minute. Now for the fix, which is normal temperature. Shut up, George. Shut up, George. In goes the fix, which is normal temperature. And we'll do that for 6 minutes. and I'll turn the video off, throw the dog out, and then go to the wash. You naughty Shih Tzu. Say hello to the people. Stop. What? 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 I should have done the wash first? Or the stop first? Okay, so that's the first film done with the freezing cold stop bath. This time I'm going to do a normal development, but this time I'm going to use a freezing cold water for the wash. So let's get on with developing this roll now. In goes the X-Tol. And off we go. And I'll stop this after the agitation, get on with the stop fix, and then get straight to the wash, which is there. This is the water. I actually ended up putting it in the freezer. And if we look at the temperature on it now, so it's dropping. It's probably going to drop to about maybe 7, but that's pretty cold. That's a dramatic drop in temperature, I'd say. In fact, I'm going to put some ice in there and drop that temperature down even more, see what happens. Okay, so I've just taken the ice out of the water, and the water's come down now to 4.7, probably going to go 4.6, there you go, 4.6. So that's good enough for the wash. And it's a real crappy day today. Outside we're getting the tail end of that Hurricane Debbie. This is my gazebo. I've had to put the tarpaulin up on it because it was going to blow away. Yeah, look at that wind. Okay, so that's the development done. Time for this is normal temperature stop bath. And it goes. That's enough of that, and now time for the fixer. Time this for 6 minutes. Now off goes the fix. The other film's already drying, so we'll put the two together, go in the dark room after this, and see the results. Take the fixer out. And now, time for the freezing cold water. This is the wash. There's a block of ice. And I'll just give that some agitation. Got a block of ice stuck in it. Come here. And I'll just give that a little rinse around like so, because I want to keep that temperature in there for at least maybe a couple of minutes before I put normal tap water in to wash the rest of the film. here I am again in the darkroom, and a bit of a continuity issue there actually. As I came in, you notice, I poured the beer and I came in the darkroom, but I didn't come in with the beer. I had to go back and get it, so but I couldn't be bothered to go and film all that again. Anyway, so I've got the negatives out. They look alright. I can't see any grain reticulation on the negatives through the naked eye. I haven't bothered looking at them through a loop or anything like that, because I haven't got one, so I wouldn't do that anyway. But I'm going to get them onto the enlarger, do a couple of prints as I did in the last video, and see what happens. I'm going to start with the cold stop bath first, and then after that we'll do the cold wash. So let's crack on. So my safe line, I've still got yesterday's negative inside the carrier. Like I said to you on that other video, I'm not going to use them negatives for anything, so I don't mind not wearing any gloves. Let's put today's shot on there. Stick on the enlarger, turn the lights off and have a look. And into the development we go. It's actually a nice photograph. It looks alright anyway. I can't see any grain reticulation on it. We'll soon see. Okay, and it goes into the fix. Nearly time for the moment of truth. Look at that rain. I hope it stops by the time I come out of here. Let's have a quick look at that rain. Okay, so this is the cold stop bath. Just put it around the right way. And this negative here is the cold wash. So I can't see nothing on that at the moment, so I'll let that dry and we'll get on with this negative. Nice cold water bath. So they're both sitting there now. I'll let them dry and we'll have a little look. And I don't know why, but I'm looking now and I can see I can't see any unusual grain. So, but wait till they're dry and then we'll have another look. Okay, so the time lapse is done of me tidying my darkroom. It's nice and clean now, ready for my next project. I'll just show you this. A lot of people ask me about this focus finder, and they always say, "Oh, what make is it? Where can I get one from?" Well, I'll tell you now, it's an old Bakelite one, and I found it in an antique shop, and it came in this little funky little box. Right, so now there is a little tiny instruction here, so I'll just show you this if anyone wants to know. It's a Caulfield product. It looks like it says Caulfield focus finder, the C&J focus finder. That's the instructions for it there. It's pretty cool. I like using it, but a lot of people ask me where to find one. All I can tell you is it's just really old, and I found it in an antique shop. If you want to know, it's called a Caulfield product, the C&J focus finder. And I'll put that instructions back in the box. And there it is there. So that kind of wraps up my little experiment on the first one. Was all about warm fixer. You know, if I used a fixer which was over temperature, which I was using at 40 degrees, would it give me unnecessary grain in the images or grain reticulation? And I couldn't find any. And then thanks to you guys, I was getting comments on that video of your experiences of grain reticulation, so I'll put that to the test today as well by using a cold stop, and also on another development using a cold wash. And I couldn't really find it either, so I can only assume that the films today are just really kind of robust. Maybe someone mentioned if I used a cheaper film like a Fomapan or something, it might happen then, but I'm not going to go to the extent of doing it all again. So the prints are dry, and this was the cold stop that I used, and you know, there is a little tiny bit of grain, but certainly not a big golf ball size grain that I've read about online. So that was the stop, and then this one here was the cold water bath as well, and they're very identical. So I'll scan these in and just show you them online, and zoom in as well on the video, sorry, and zoom in as well so you can have a look for yourselves. But anyway guys, yeah, I hope you like the video, the first one and this one as well, on grain reticulation. I'm no expert in it, I'm just experimenting and trying to find out for myself what happens if. So if it helps you, it certainly helped me with the comments that I've read. So thanks very much for your support. Also thanks to all the people that have supported me on Patreon as well. I really appreciate that. It does help me continue my channel and do work in the darkroom. So until next time, oh, I'm in London tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some stuff in London, so watch out for that video as well. I'm going up there. I'm going to be with my family, but I'm also going to take some time out to do some shooting around Soho and around those areas. So yeah, thanks very much guys, and I'll catch you next time.